it's Jazz here. I've got a story to tell you guys about this, a drink bottle, humble old drink bottle. So if I can take you back a year, just over a year ago, the Christmas of 2017-18, we came down to our land. This is when we had bought the land a year prior and we're paying it off still. We thought we'd come down and would do a bit of a working bee and prep for now, for this time for living. And so we came down, we'd driven 24 hours worth of travelling, and we arrived on our land at 9 o'clock in the morning, and there was no driveway, there was just gorse, and we had to cut the fence, and Matt actually drove the whole way, even when I said to him, do you want me to drive? We were just so excited that he was like on adrenaline or something, and he just kept going. So we got here at 9 o'clock in the morning, having left Auckland at 9 o'clock the previous day. That's a big trip. And we got here and he was just straight into it, cutting the gorse, and our goal for that first day was to set up, bring our stuff on and just have a good night's sleep basically. And then the second day we're going to bring the utes on and make a little bridge. So anyway, all this area that we're living in now was all gorse, 6 foot tall. So we shuttled our gear up, and I had a bucket, and I was using the bucket to push the gorse out of my face so I could get through. There was a little tiny track sort of there that we kind of macheted stuff away just to clear from our faces. And I had a backpack of sleeping gear and 2 drink bottles, one on each side. And I dropped something and I went to pick it up, and this drink bottle fell out of my bag. And for a year and a bit, I've kept it in the back of my mind and not known where the heck it is. And until a few weeks back, we were clearing a big heap of gorse just over here. Actually, if you remember one of my first videos, I was bouncing on this big heap of gorse, saying it was like a spiky trampoline, and it was under there. So we're clearing this gorse, and there it is at the very bottom, the old trusty green drink bottle. So mystery is solved. Now we can move on with our lives. Yeah. Well, anyway, update. We are progressing really well with the driveway. Matt works on it almost every morning for about an hour and a half, and I help him now and again. Otherwise I'm cooking breakfast or something like that. And you're probably going to be impressed with how far we've got, so I'll show you that in a moment. We've also been moving gravel that we've sort of mining, I guess, digging up from the top of our driveway, and we're wheelbarrowing it into the ruts of our just past the bridge, so that when it rains we're not getting stuck in the mud and we can continue to drive without full drive. And the other project we've been working on daily is gorse clearing a driveway, continue with the driveway, there's a theme, for potentially a new site for our permanent dwelling. So you might be able to hear Matt's machine in the back. We bought a machine, yeah. We thought we'd do everything by hand, but this is actually really useful. So we got like one of those strimmer, robust strimmer things with a big steel blade, and so that's really useful for cutting gorse. So we've had a nice routine the past few days. We've been the driveway for an hour and a half, 2 hours, then we have breakfast, and then we do moving the gravel for another 2 hours, and then have lunch and have a bit of a break, and then we do the gorse clearing until dinner. So that's sort of our routine at the moment. And then in between we're planting seedlings out, moving dirt around, making potting soil. Yeah, so it's all fun and games. So we'll go for a bit of a walk and show you guys our progress. Okay, so the driveway. Look how far we've come. I think the last time Matt did a video, it was about maybe here. So I'll just give you the whole view. So that's the start, and then all of this, and then all the way to there. And the bit that Matt did this morning is dead flat. It's like amazingly pure rock. So that's really helpful. It's good when that happens. We've got little seedlings growing, but we have a little bit of a problem, and we don't have slugs, we don't have snails, but we have little crickets, and we reckon that those guys are biting all the little leaves. So we're trying different methods. We're trying random scatter and see what comes up, but then we're doing actual raising seedlings. I'll just show you that because we just sort of moved it, and I'm a bit happier where it is because it's a little bit in the shade. So we've got seedlings being raised here, with some windows as sort of like a cold frame. So we did a few more yesterday. Some of them are looking a bit yellow. We've got lots of brassicas, lots of winter crops. And then today we planted some beans and carrots. So it's all just sort of see what grows really. But really cool thing, we're spending all this time doing our sort of seedlings and stuff, but guess what? We dropped some lentils and some peas and things when we're doing seedlings in the kitchen, and they've come up, and it's not even proper soil, it's like gravel. So it's got us questioning, do we even need to, you know, sift out all this beautiful, what we think is beautiful soil, when it's just growing in literally stones. So it's pretty crazy. We've got brassicas growing just here, and got a legume growing there, and then around here we've got lentils growing just like by the compost heap. And what we think set it off was we had a bit of heavy rain for a bit, and our porch area sort of flooded, and we think that's probably what germinated the seeds, and they're just sort of growing there. So I think they like, you know, not direct sunlight, so that's why we've moved over there, so they only get the sun sort of maybe for 4 hours in the day or something like that. Oh, I had a bit of a tidy up of our shed. I guess it still looks messy from where you guys are looking, but it's a lot tidier, and I organised it a bit so we can get to everything. And our wood pile's coming along nicely. We've got lots of gorse, got piles ready to stack. Oh, something else pretty cool. So someone once said to us that you can't just set fire to gorse because all the seeds pop out open and like grows even faster. Had a bit of a fire on the stump, and hey, what's happening here? All these seedlings have come up. Oh, normally you can pull out the whole, see their little roots, so they go nuts. Wow, see, some of the roots are really long, and they're actually amazing plants, gorse, because they really are survivors. So yeah, that's what happens when you set fire to some ground and all the seeds pop open. So yeah, alright, I'll take you to our newly cleared area, which we're pretty excited about, because this is sort of a big deal, because we're foraging new ground here, and it's kind of exciting. Oh yeah, it's our boulevard of broken tin. Yeah, I thought of that myself, it's pretty good. Yeah, so here we are. I'll turn you around so you can actually see where I'm walking. So we just came from our roundabout, and then we're going this way. Oh yeah, we moved the Datsun as well, so that was a big achievement for us. We hooked up like a two-way pulley, and we pulled it with the 2 vehicles, and we thought we weren't going to make it, it wasn't going to happen, and then finally it moved, so the Datsun's somewhat out of the way now. So that was a big relief. We kind of had a big bit of a, you know, woohoo celebration, because we're pretty proud of that. So yeah, anyway, back to the driveway, and yeah, so pretty cool, right? So this is a week's worth probably of clearing, a mixture of axe work, saw work and this bad boy. What's it called again?
Weed eater.
The scrub cutter, the FS90R still scrub cutter. It's a bit of a beast. So Matt kind of clears it with, just turn the radio off, with the scrub cutter, and then we pick the bits that are kind of good for a fire, so substantial thickness, and cut the tops off it, and then we pile up the wood, and then we put the tops on a pile. Oh, Matt started a new pile right here, and we just stack them up and up and up until it gets too tall, and then we just move on and keep going like that. So this is at the past 4 days we've been doing this in the afternoon. And it's quite a nice job to end on because it's not sort of like heavy work. It's just sort of lots of walking backwards and forwards and lots of arm movements, I guess, arm work, whatever. And I was being, I don't know, saving nature and all. Obviously there's lots of natives popping up in this area, or everywhere in our land, and we can't save it all of them well, you could, but you need lots of pots, so I just saved a few here, and the rest will just be food for the soil. And yeah, but that's alright, that's just how it goes. So yeah, that's our update, and it's been almost 3 months since we've been here living on our land, so it's pretty exciting. Time goes pretty fast, but also feels like, yeah, it feels like we've been here longer than that.